Hello students, welcome to Memonit. I am Shahin Mahmood, currently studying MBBS from College of Medicine and JNM Hospital, Kalyani. I am also SME at Memonit. So let's discuss the questions from 151 to 200 from the Biology Part 2. First start with the section first. Question number 151. It is saying that in a fertilized embryo sac, the haploid, diploid and triploid structures are, and the options given. So we need to find out the structures. So we know that first option, synergid. Synergid is a haploid cell in fertilized embryo sac. Then zygote. We know that zygote is made up of fusion of male and female gametes. So it is diploid. And primary endosperm nucleus is a result of triple fusion. So it is triploid. So first option itself is our correct answer for this question. Now we will also check the other options as well. In the second option, it is saying that synergic, antipodal and polar nuclei, all these are haploid. Now the next one, antipodal, synergid and primary endosperm nucleus. Antipodal and synergid are haploid, but endosperm nucleus, primary endosperm nucleus is triploid. The last one, it is saying that synergid, polar nuclei and zygote. Synergid and polar nuclei is haploid, but zygote is diploid. So first option will be a correct answer for this question. Now moving towards the next question, 152. Okay, here you go, 152. So it is saying that assertion in microsporangium, the tapetal cell possesses little cytoplasm and generally have a single prominent nucleus. Now the next one, it is saying that during microsporogenesis, the microspore mother cell undergo mitotic division to produce haploid microscope tetrad. Now let's discuss this. So basically what happens that the cells of tapetum possess dense cytoplasm and generally have more than one nucleus. So it is saying that little cytoplasm and generally have single prominent nucleus. So both are incorrect. So assertion is wrong. Now let's see the reason. So when the anther is young, a group of compactly arranged homogeneous cell called sporogenous tissue occupies the center of each microsporangium. So now in microsporogenesis, what happens that as the anther develops, the cell of the sporogenous tissue undergo meiotic division to form microspore tetrads. In this reason, it is given that undergo mitotic division. So this is incorrect. So that's why assertion and reason both are incorrect. So fourth option will be our correct answer for this question. Now moving towards the next question, 153. Okay, 153. Yeah. So it is saying that the following figure shows multicarpellary syncarpus pistilla papaver, multicarpellary apocarpus gynoecium of Michelia, pentacarpellary syncarpus gynoecium of the Michelia, multicarpellary apocarpus gynoecium of the papaver. So basically this we can see from the structure that is directly given in the NCERT, the most important book for NEET. Okay, so let's see this. This diagram is basically a multicarpellary apocarpus gynoecium of Michelia. Why this is now, what does this apocarpus means? Apocarpus means, as we can see in this diagram, apocarpus means the carpels are free. So that's why second option will be your correct answer for this question, 153. Now moving towards the next question, 154. Let's see, 154, yeah. So it is saying that in a flower, if megaspore mother cell, that means that forms megaspores without undergoing meiosis, and if one of the megaspore develops into an embryo sac, its nuclei would be haploid, diploid, a few haploid, a few diploid, or with varying ploidy. So let's understand this. So what is meiosis? Meiosis is basically the reductional division, and this occurs in megaspore mother cell. Consider this occurs in megaspore mother cell, that so that the diploid cell divide and form haploid gamete. What is happening from diploid to haploid gamete? Okay, so if the megaspore mother cell does not undergo meiosis, then the ploidy level of the embryo sac will remain the same, or diploid, 2N or diploid. So the correct answer will be the second option, diploid. Now moving towards the next question, 155. 155, okay. So it is saying that a particular species of plant produces light, non-sticky pollen in large numbers and its stigma are long and feathery. This modification facilitates pollination by insect, water, wind or animals. So you can see that why these are large in number is non-sticky pollen and its stigmas are long and feathery. So this influenced by wind pollination. If the stigma is non-sticky, then by it will be easier for dispersal from one place to another place. And if it's long, then that means more amount of content. So also you can see in the explanation it is written that wind pollination also requires the pollen grain are light and non-sticky so that they can be transported in wind currents. So they often possess well exposed stamens so that the pollens are easily dispersed. That's why we discussed into wind currents, and large, often feathery stigma easily trap in airborne pollen grains. That's why third option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 156. The innermost wall layer of anther is nutritive in function, helps in dehiscence of anther, is haploid and protective function, forms microspores. So 156, basically, what is the innermost layer of anther? We know that is tapetum. And what is the function of tapetum? To provide nutrition. So that's why it is nutritive in function. First option will be our correct answer for this question. You can also check the explanation. It is written that typical microspomia appears near circular in outline and fold wall layers, epidermis, endothelium, middle layer and tapetum. So the outer three wall layer perform the function of protection and helps in dehiscence, and the innermost layer is tapetum. It nourishes the developing pollen grains. So it is nutritive in function. First option will be our correct answer. Now moving towards the next question, 157. Okay. So the process of formation of microspore from a pollen mother cell is called. What is this process? You know that this process is called microsporogenesis. Second option will be our correct answer for this question. The process of formation of microspore from a pollen mother cell through meiosis is called microsporogenesis. So second option here is our correct answer. Now moving towards the next question, 158. It is saying that choose the correct option with respect to the function of the germ pore. Germ pore. It allows the growth of pollen tube. It allows water absorption in seed. It helps dehiscence of pollen grain. More than one option is correct. So the function of germ pore, main function of germ pore is basically it allows growth of pollen tube. So first option will be our correct answer for this question. It is also written in the explanation. The function of pore. Germ pore is the initiation of pollen tube and the release of male gametes. Okay. That is what written. So first option will be the correct answer for this question. Now it is saying that the thin and continuous wall layer of pollen, exine, intine, is germ pore or endothelium. So you know that these are not for pollen, germ pore. These are not layer, and this is thin and continuous layer we have to find. So the thin and continuous wall layer is intine, because in exine there is a discontinuation for the germ pore. So and it is also thin. Intine is thin. So the inner wall of the pollen grain is also called intine. It is thin and continuous layer made up of cellulose and pectin. So second option will be our correct answer for this question. And here we know that endothelium is not applicable for pollen, it is applicable for anther. So anther wall layer. Now moving towards the question 160. Okay. 160. Yes. So this is a filling the blanks type of question. You can see very easy. The embryo sac is to ovule as dash is to anther. So you need to compare an analogy. So the embryo sac is to ovule is to dash is to anther. Stamen, filament, pollen grain or endothecium. So basically pollen grain will be your correct answer for this question. Embryo sac to ovule and pollen grain to anther. And if we try to understand this concept, basically what happens that the embryo sac or the female gametophyte is located inside the ovule and is formed from the functional megaspore. Now, pollen grain represents the male gametophyte. So, it is produced by meiotic division of the microspore mother cell present in the pollen sacs in anther. So, that's why we completed the or we compared the analogy. Now, moving towards the next question, that is 161. Okay, 161. You can see this. Yeah. So, in angiosperms, the pollen grains are shed at in 40% angiosperms, the pollen grains are shed at 4 cell stage, 3 cell stage, 2 cell stage or 5 cell stage. So, in 40% of the angiosperms, the pollen grains are shed at 3 celled stage. Second option will be our correct answer for this question. So, you can see that in 60% of the angiosperm, the pollen grains are shed at 2 cell stage. The remaining species, that means the 40% will shed at 3 celled stage. So, second option will be our correct answer for this question. Now, moving towards the next question, that is pollen allergy is caused by pollens of. So, pollen allergy is caused by pollens of rose, clematis, parthenium or sunflower. So, pollen allergy is caused by parthenium. Third option will be our correct answer for this question. Parthenium is also known as carrot grass and that came into India as a contaminant with imported wheat and it causes pollen allergy. So, third option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 163. So, the pollen viability period of rice, pea respectively is 30 minutes and several months and 30 minutes, few days and few months, few days in both the cases. So, you can see that in some cereals such as rice and wheat, you can see that this is the rice and wheat, the pollen grain lose viability within 30 minutes. So, for rice it will be 30 minutes and for pea we can see that in some members of Rosaceae Leguminaceae Solanaceae, pea is a member of what? Pea is a member of Leguminaceae. They maintain viability for months. That's why our correct answer for this question will be first option. For rice it will be 30 minutes and for pea it will be of several months because pea is a member of Leguminosae family. First option will be our correct answer for this question. Now moving towards the next question, 164. Okay, 164. Yeah, it is saying that integumented megasporangium is ovule, pollen sac, pollen grain or embryo sac. So, integumented megasporangium is basically ovule. So, first option will be our correct answer for this question. This is not pollen sac, this is not pollen grain and this is also not related with embryo sac. Integumented megasporangium means mega. Mega means obviously we are talking about female, that is ovule, female part. Now moving towards the next question, that is the nutritive 165. Okay, let's see the explanation as well so that you will get help some. So okay, 165. The nutritive tissue present in the ovule is called nucellus, funicle, embryo or integument. So let's just read the question one more time. The nutritive tissue present in ovule, it is saying for ovule, so that's not in anther. So for this reason the nutritive tissue will be, for ovule it will be nucellus. So first option will be our correct answer for this question. Yeah, so you can see that enclosed within the integuments is a mass of cells called the nucellus and cells of the nucellus have abundant reserve of food materials. So if the cell have abundant reserve of food, that means it have nutritive properties. So first option will be a correct answer for this question. Now moving towards the next question, 166. The number of embryo sac in an ovule is generally 1, many, 4 or 3. So an ovule generally have a single embryo sac formed from the female part, that is megaspore. The first option will be our correct answer for this question. Now moving towards the next question, 167. Okay. 167, yeah. So the ploidy level of nucellus and female gametophyte respectively is. So the ploidy level of nucellus is diploid. Nucellus is diploid structure and female gametophyte is a haploid structure. So this will be 2n and n. Third option will be your correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 168. Okay, 168. So it is saying that the types of flower which always produce seeds even in the absence of pollinators. So basically what happens, and the options given, let's read the options as well. Chasmogamous flower, clistogamous flower, bisexual flower or unisexual flower. So what happens in clistogamous flowers, that it does not open at all. It does not open at all, and in such flowers the anthers and stigma lie close to each other, and when anthers dehiscence in the flower buds, pollen grain come in contact with the stigma to affect pollination. So if two pollen grain and come in contact with the stigma to affect pollination. So that's why clistogamous flowers are invariably autogamous, as there is no chance of cross pollination or cross landing on the stigma. That's why clistogamous flowers produce assured seed set in the absence of pollinator, because they don't need any pollinators. There is no cross pollination. It is all invariably autogamous. So second option will be correct answer for this question. Now moving towards the next question, 169. Okay, 169. So in castor, proliferation of the outer integumentary cells at micropylar region lacks hygroscopic ability, attracts ants and helps in myrmecophily, and is called epiblast and stores sugary substances. So what happens in castor, that the proliferation of outer integumentary cells at micropylar region is called caruncle, and it is made up of sugary substance which help them in seed dispersal. So fourth option will be the correct answer for this question, that it stores sugary substances. Now moving towards the question 170, it is saying that select incorrect statement regarding microsporogenesis in an anther. And the options given are: large number of microspore mother cells differentiate in one pollen sac. It is absolutely correct, because what happens that from one microsporangium, microspore tetrad is formed by meiosis, and from that microspore tetrad, when anther matures, it forms pollen grains, or you can say differentiated in one pollen sac. So it is absolutely correct. Now each microsporogenesis involves one meiosis and two mitosis. This option is basically incorrect, because what happens that how we can explain this? So let's see this microsporangium. This is microsporangium. And from this microsporangium, what happens? Microspore tetrad is formed. Microspore tetrad. We are just writing the short form to accommodate the space. Microspore tetrad is formed, and when this tetrad matures, it forms pollen grains. Pollen grains. So only meiosis is happening here, or you can see that microspore tetrad is formed from microsporangium by the process of meiosis, and there is no mitosis in all the overall process. Pollen from microsporangium to pollen grain, there is no involvement of mitosis. That's why this is insignificant. So this option is this statement is incorrect. Now the next one is microspore tetrad may be tetrahedral or isobilateral. It is absolutely correct. And last one, it is saying that it consumes tapetum and middle layers. So tapetum basically provide the nutrition, and also middle layers help in them for dehiscence of anthers. So it is also correct. So second option will be our correct answer for this question. Now moving towards the next question, 171. It is saying that in papaya, male and female flowers are present on different plants. So it permits autogamy, geitonogamy, both autogamy and geitonogamy or xenogamy. So if male and female flowers are present on different plants, suppose this is a plant, this is a plant, this is another plant, here male, just male and female. So we need to cross, or we need to have cross pollination to basically to achieve the pollination. So basically fourth option, xenogamy, will be our correct answer for this question. You can see also in explanation it should be written 171. Yeah, that in several species such as papaya, male and female flowers are present on different plants. That is, each plant is either male or female, or means dioici. So this condition prevents both autogamy and geitonogamy. That's why it promotes xenogamy. Now next one, 172. It is saying that which of the following statement is applicable for all flowering plants, and the options are given: monospecious pollen tube, monosiphonos pollen tube, then non-motile and morphologically dissimilar gamete, presence of pollinium, division of generative cell after pollination. So among these, monosiphonos pollen tube is not present in all the flowering plants. Non-motile and morphologically dissimilar gametes are present. It is applicable for all flowering plants. And the next one is given: presence of pollinium. Pollinium is not present in all flowering plants, and also division of generative cell after pollination is also not present in all flowering plants. You can see that's why the statement which is applicable for all flowering plant is the second option, that is non-motile and morphologically dissimilar gametes, male and female gametes. So second option will be our correct answer for this question. Okay. Now moving towards the next. Pollen pistil interaction is chemically mediated process, dynamic process, genetically controlled process, or more than one option is correct. So here more than one option correct will be correct answer, because pollen pistil interaction is dynamic process and also it is chemically mediated process. So first and second options are correct. That's why more than one option correct will be the correct answer for this question. Fourth option will be our correct answer. Now moving towards the next question, 174. Okay, 174. It is saying that transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of same flower. So you can see also diagram. So it basically, in this type of pollination, this is achieved in same flower. So transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of same flower is known as autogamy. So first option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 175. Okay. So which of the following is formed immediately as a result of double fertilization? Zygote, primary endosperm nucleus, male and female gamete, or both first and second? So both zygote and primary endosperm nucleus is formed after as a result of double fertilization immediately. So fourth option will be your correct answer for this question. So two types of fusion, syngamy and triple fusion, takes place in the embryo sac phenomena is termed as double fertilization, and it forms basically zygote and primary endosperm nucleus. Okay, moving towards the next question, 176. It is saying that emasculation is also, the diagram is given. So and the options given are: prevent self pollination in female parent, prevent cross pollination in female parent, prevent self-pollination in male parent, or prevent cross-pollination in male parent. So emasculation basically prevents self-pollination in female parent. First option will be a correct answer. So if the female parents bear bisexual flower, removal of anther from the flower bud before the anther dehisces using a pair of forceps if necessary. So this step is referred as emasculation. It is applicable for female parent, because if female parent bears bisexual flower, then removal of anthers is necessary. So here, that's why first option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 177. Okay, 177. Yeah. In which of the following sets of families the pollen grains are viable for months? Previously also answered this. That is Rosaceae, Liliaceae, Poaceae, or Leguminaceae, Solanaceae, Rosaceae, Solanaceae, Poaceae, Liliaceae, or Brassicaceae, Liliaceae, or Poaceae. But here first option will be your correct answer, Rosaceae, Liliaceae. One second. Sorry, here first option will not be the correct answer because Liliaceae is here, and also Poaceae is also not. So Leguminaceae, Solanaceae, and Rosaceae, for this the viability of pollen grain is for months. Second option will be our correct answer for this question. Now moving towards the next question in 178. Okay, let's 178. Yes. Which is the most common type of embryo sac in angiosperms? The options are given: tetrasporic with one mitotic stage of division, monosporic with three sequential mitotic division, monosporic with two sequential mitotic division, bisporic with two sequential mitotic division. So what happens in most of the embryo sac in angiosperm, that it have monosporic with three sequential mitotic division. Second option will be your correct answer for this question. Then also understand this, that female gametophyte, in a majority of the flowering plants, what happens that one of the megaspore is functional while the other three degenerate, and only the functional megaspore develops into female gametophyte embryo sac. So this method of embryo sac formation from a single megaspore is termed as monosporic development. That's why second option will be our correct answer for this question. Now moving towards the next question, 179. Which of the following fruit is parthenocarpic? Jackfruit, banana, brinjal, or apple? So here second option will be our correct answer, banana. Banana is parthenocarpic. We can obtain seedless banana through parthenocarpy. Yeah. Okay. But now if anyone asks that, we just know the example of parthenocarpic fruit. What is parthenocarpy? So basically parthenocarpy means that fruits that form results of, we know that the fruits form in the results of fertilization, but if fruit develops without fertilization, that kind of food are called parthenocarpic fruit. So that's why seedless banana we can obtain from parthenocarpy. So second option will be a correct answer for this question. So the question number 180, it is saying that the central cell after triple fusion becomes primary endosperm cell, primary endosperm nucleus, endosperm, or embryo. So for this, the central cell after triple fusion become primary endosperm cell. First option will be your correct answer for this question. So two types of fusion, as we already discussed this, that syngamy and triple fusion takes place in an embryo sac. The phenomena is termed as double fertilization, and the central cell after triple fusion becomes the primary endosperm cell. So first option will be the correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 181. Okay, it is saying that choose the incorrect statement regarding endosperm. It provides nutrition to developing embryo, has the potentiality to form a complete plant, contains reserved food material such as fats, carbohydrates, oil, proteins, etc. in mature seeds, and also continues to divide transversely and produces a thread of cells called suspensors. It is D basically, you can just correct it, D. Okay, so the incorrect statements are basically for regarding endosperms, that it does not have the potentiality to form a complete plant. So it is incorrect. But provides nutrition to the developing embryo, it's correct. C, it is saying that contains reserved food materials such as fats, carbohydrates, oil, proteins in mature seeds. It is also absolutely correct for endosperm. But this statement, the last statement is not correct, that it continues to divide transversely and produce a thread of cells called suspensor. It is absolutely not related with endosperm. So it is not correct. The incorrect statement here B and D. So here second option will be your correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 182. It is saying that after culturing the anther of plants, few diploid plants are obtained along with haploid plant. Which of the following part might be given rise to a diploid plant? Vegetative cell of pollen, exine of pollen wall, cells of anther wall, or generative cell of pollen. Basically, what happens that after culturing the anther of a plant, few diploid plants are found along with haploid plants. So the diploid plants could have arisen from the cells of anther wall. Why? Because as the anther wall is diploid tissue, they are part of the anther. That's why third option will be your correct for this question. Moving towards the next question, 183. Okay, assertion is a type of question. You can see 183. It is saying that hydrophily is a major mode of pollination in most of the aquatic plants in angiosperms, and the reason is given. About 40% genera of monocot plants require water for fertilization. These both are incorrect. Why these both are incorrect? So first of all, it is saying that hydrophily is a major source of pollination in most of the aquatic plant in angiosperms. So this is incorrect, because hydrophily is the mode of pollination and in which is accomplished through agency of water. So pollination by water is quite rare in flowering plants. And also that it is limited to only 30 genera, mostly monocotyledonous like Vallisneria, Zostera, etc. And in many aquatic plants with emergent flowers, pollination occur by wind insects. It is also saying that about 40% genera of monocot plant require water for fertilization. It is also not correct. So both assertion and reason are false. Fourth option will be your correct answer for this question. Okay. So now moving towards the next question, 184. It is saying first statement, a pistil has the ability to recognize the male gametophyte whether it is compatible or incompatible. Now the next one, it is saying that in pistil accept the compatible male gametophyte and produces post-fertilization events that. Okay, so now we need to mark the correct choice. So first statement, it is saying that the pistil has the ability to recognize the male gametophyte whether it is compatible or incompatible. 184. Yes. This statement is absolutely correct, because pistil have the ability to recognize male gametophyte, and whether this is decided by whether this is compatible or this is incompatible. You can also see the explanation that the pistil has the ability to recognize pollen whether it is right type compatible or wrong type incompatible. If it is right type, then pistil accepts the pollen and promotes post pollination. That is just the second statement. And if the pollen is of wrong type, the pistil rejects the pollen by preventing pollen germination on the stigma or the pollen tube growth in the style. So this is also correct, and the statement second is also given, that pistil, if the pistil accepts or if it is compatible, then it promotes post fertilization events. So both the statements are correct. First option will be your correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, let's select the mismatched pair: microsporangium pollen sac, megasporangium ovule, pollen grain male gamete, embryo sac, and female gametophyte. So here 185, the mismatched pair will be the third option, pollen grain and male gametes, because pollen grains are immature male gametophytes. The gametophyte contain male gametes. That's why third option will be your correct answer, as it is a mismatched pair. Third option will be your correct answer. Okay. Now moving towards the section B, 186. 186. Okay. It is saying that mark the incorrectly matched pair. Orchid, tiny seeds, hydrophily common in dicots, pollen grain 25 to 50 micrometer in diameter, Parthenium, pollen allergy. So the matched pair, you can see orchid have tiny seeds, yes. Hydrophily common in dicots. Hydrophily is not common in dicots because pollination through water is very rare. That is not common in dicots. And the next one, pollen grain are 25 to 50 micrometer in diameter is also correct. Parthenium causes pollen allergy. It is very ubiquitous. So yeah, B, second option will be a correct answer for this question, that it is mismatched. Now the next one, 187. Okay, so it is also, we need to select the incorrect match. Long ribbon like pollen grain Zostera, it is absolutely correct. Feather stigma anemophily, it is also correct. And then moth yucca plant, it is absolutely correct. You can also study this in ecology. You can also study this in your reproduction and flowering plant chapter. Sticky pollen grain hydrophily, no, this is not correct, because the body of the animal gets a coating of pollen grain which are generally stick in animal pollinated flower. When the animal carrying the pollen grain on its body comes in contact with the stigma, it's bring about pollination. So hydrophily means pollination through water. So sticky pollen grains are not present in hydrophily. So fourth option will be a correct answer for this question. Sticky pollen grains are present in the flowers which are pollinated by animals. So now the next question is 188, assertion design type of question. You can see how many assertion design questions are there. Okay, it is saying that during embryo development in dicot, suspensors serve as the main nutritive tissue for the embryo, and also the reason is given. The last cell of the suspensor at the end adjacent to the embryo is known as hostorium. So during embryo development, the embryo's endosperm serve as the main nutritive tissue for the embryo. What is then suspensor? What is suspensor then? The suspensor is a group of cell which pushes the pro-embryo into embryo sac. So that's why assertion is totally incorrect. And the first cell of suspensor at the micropylar end becomes the hostorium, the first cell, and it is in the reason it is given the last cell. That's why this is also incorrect. Hostorium, which helps to absorb water and nutrients for the growing plant. The last cell of the suspensor at the end adjacent to the embryo is known as hypophysis. It is not hostorium. Hostorium is the first cell and hypophysis is the last cell. So both are incorrect. So fourth option will be our correct answer for this question. Now moving towards the next question, 189. Which of the following statement is not correct? Pollen grains of many species can germinate on the stigma of a flower, but only one pollen tube of the same species grow into the style. Next one is insects that consume pollen or nectar without bringing about pollination are called pollen or nectar robbers. Third is pollen germination and pollen tube growth are regulated by chemical components of the pollen interacting with those of pistil. Now the next one is last one. Some reptiles have also been reported as pollinator in some plant species. Okay. So here first option, it is saying that pollen grains of many different species can germinate on the stigma of a flower, but only one pollen tube of the same species grows into the style. It is not correct. The next one, insects that consume pollen or nectar without bringing about pollination are called pollen or nectar robbers. Yes, it is absolutely correct. Then you can also see the example of that bumblebees. And the next one is pollen germination and pollen tube growth are regulated by chemical components of pollen interacting with those of pistil. It is absolutely correct. Some reptiles have been also reported as pollinators in some of the plant species. It is also correct. The incorrect one or not correct is first option. Not one, basically it is saying that one pollen tube of the same species grows. This is not correct. So first option is incorrect. That is our answer. 190. Okay, 190. So this is directly from the NCERT, you can see that. Pollen grains can be stored for several years in liquid nitrogen having a temperature negative 196 degrees Celsius, negative 80, negative 120 or negative 160. So this is just like from the NCERT line, negative 196 liquid nitrogen temperature, we know that. First option will be the correct answer. The next one is match the column, 191. Apomixis, polyembryony, parthenocarpy, mango, seedless fruit or asteraceae. So we know that parthenocarpy resulted in seedless fruit, that is banana. Apomixis we can see in asteraceae family, and also polyembryony can be seen in citrus and mango. So A 3, then B first, C 2. First option will be our correct answer for this question. 192. You can write that, you can read the explanation here, but 192 now we need to discuss. 192. Okay, so it is saying that in Cocos nucifera, coconut water represent the cellular endosperm and the surrounding white kernel represent the free nuclear endosperm. Reason is given: primary endosperm nucleus undergoes a number of free nuclear division, all of which are subsequently followed by wall formation. So assertion here is given. You can see the explanation that in most common type endosperm development, the primary endosperm nucleus undergoes successive nuclear division to give rise to free nuclei. This stage of endosperm development is called as free nuclear endosperm. Subsequently, cell wall formation occurs in the endosperm becomes cellular. The number of free nuclei formed before cellularization varies greatly. So the coconut water from the tender coconut that you are familiar with is nothing but free nuclear endosperm made up of thousands of nuclei. And the surrounding white kernel is the cellular endosperm. It is saying, what it is saying, that the cellular endosperm and the surrounding white kernel represent as free nuclear endosperm. Basically, this is the opposite. This is what we have explained, and this assertion is just given as opposite. So this is absolutely wrong. And primary endosperm nucleus undergoes a number of free nuclear division. It is also not correct. So here, fourth option will be our correct answer for this question. Both assertion reason are false. Now let's discuss the question 193. Cognize the figure and find out the correct matching. A, B, C, D, E, F, it is given. So okay, you can see this. You can see this diagram. So first one, A. A is basically the central cell. Now the next one, B, is the egg nucleus. You can see this is the egg nucleus. C is the synergid. C is the synergid cell. You can see this in. C is the synergid. Then D is the filiform apparatus. D is the filiform apparatus. Then E is given as male gametes. E is basically given as male gametes, and F is given as vegetative nucleus. This question is basically put up to check your understanding about the NCERT diagrams. Whether you are reading or just reading, or you can visualize the diagram as well. You also have to visualize the diagram and you need to remember these diagrams as well from the NCERT, because in NCERT everything is important. This question is put up basically to check your visualization. So okay, second option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 194. It is saying that a part of gynoecium that determines the compatible nature of pollen is stigma, style, ovary or synergid. So that is stigma, which decide the compatibility nature of pollen. So you can see here, pollination does not guarantee that whatever it is written. You can see that pollen of the wrong type, either from the Femicillin plant. The pistil has the ability to recognize the pollen whether it is of the right type or of the wrong type. So first option will be our correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 195. Okay. So, if the pollen of a flower falls on the stigma of another flower belonging to the same plant, it is ecologically cross-pollination, genetically cross-pollination, genetically self-pollination, and ecologically cross-pollination, none of this. So, third option will be our correct answer for this question. That if the pollen of a flower falls on the stigma of another flower belonging to the same plant, so if a plant, so yeah, if a plant, this is a flower, and this is also a flower. Suppose we are assuming that the pollen of a flower falls to the stigma of another flower. Yeah. So basically, ecologically, if we see, this is a cross pollination, but genetically it is same pollination because this is a plant. The genes of the plant, genes of the flower are basically same because these flowers are present on the same plant. So third option will be a correct answer for this question. Moving towards the next question, 196. Okay, 196. It is saying that while planning for an artificial hybridization program involving dioecious plant, which of the following steps not be relevant? Bagging of female flower, dusting of pollen on stigma, emasculation, or collection of pollen. So it is saying the dioecious plants. So in dioecious plants, why we need to emasculation? The third option will be our correct answer for this question. Okay, you can read the explanation as well. Third option is the correct answer. 197. That pollen tablets are available in the market for in vitro fertilization, breeding programs, supplementing food, or ex situ conservation. The pollen tablets are available in the market for supplementing foods. Third option will be your correct answer for this question. The next one is 198. Okay, 198. Filiform apparatus is the characteristic feature of, this is given in the structure of filiform apparatus, synergid, generative cell, nuclear embryo, or aileron layer. So filiform apparatus is the characteristic feature of synergids. First option will be the correct answer. The 199, question number 199. Okay. So the proximal end of the filament of the stamen is attached to the anther, connective, placenta, or thalamus or petals. The proximal end of the filament of the stamen is attached to the thalamus. Fourth option will be our correct answer. The last one, if, okay, last one, I also need explanation. Okay, so if an angiospermic male plant is diploid and the female plant is tetraploid, the ploidy level of endosperm will be. This is a good question. You can see that. It is saying that the endosperm male plant is diploid and female plant is tetraploid. Okay, tetraploid. So the ploidy level of the endosperm will be. So since in angiosperm what happens that the phenomenon of triple fusion occurs. So hence the endosperm after fertilization in such a plant will be pentaploid. Why this will be pentaploid? Let's see this. So that the mother egg cell or megaspore will contain two polar nuclei each with ploidy 2x, and the nuclei from pollen will contain ploidy x. This means haploid, hence the triple fusion. So the total ploidy of the endosperm will be 5n or 5x, whatever it is like in expression. 2n from the each polar nuclei and n from the male germ cell of the pollen. So the correct here is pentaploid. Fourth option will be our correct answer. Here's also one trick from me. If you don't understand the whatever written in the explanation, so you can just compare this. So if the female plant is tetraploid as discussed in the question, then the central cell of the embryo sac, which is fused with the polar nuclei, will also be tetraploid, and then fusion of the tetraploid central cell to the haploid male gamete forms a pentaploid endosperm. So that's why fourth option will be our correct answer. This concludes the explanation from 151 to 200 questions for biology second part. So I hope you understand each and every question well. Make sure to read the NCERT and attempt the test. All the best.